Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be looking at a seriously brilliant, totally nature-based farming practice coming out of Thailand. It's actually a perfect example of how, honestly, sometimes the absolute best advancements in farming aren't these highly technological things. Sometimes they're purely biological. We're going to break down how local farmers are completely transforming their harvests just by pairing their staple crops with aquatic life. So, let's jump right into this with a question. Do you know why Thai farmers deliberately leave crawfish in their paddy crops? It sounds kind of strange at first, right? Muddy crustaceans and rice just hanging out together. It's pretty easy to assume they just happen to share the same water. But actually, scratch that, this specific combination is highly intentional. It is an absolute game changer for agriculture. To figure out exactly why this works so well, we really need to ground ourselves in this concept called symbiotic synergy. Basically, by definition, this is a mutually beneficial relationship between two entirely different organisms, and it produces a combined effect that's way, way greater than the sum of their separate parts. In this specific farming scenario, the crops and the aquatic life, they aren't just, passively sharing space in the water. They're a fully integrated system. They actively interact to help each other thrive, and man, the results are pretty spectacular. Let's look at how this actually plays out over the course of a single farming season. It's such a fascinating life cycle. Step 1, the farmers plant the paddy and introduce the crawfish directly into the flooded fields. Step 2 is where that synergy really kicks in. The crawfish naturally hunt down and just gobble up the insects hiding out in the crop. And because of this incredibly aggressive, entirely natural pest management, we seamlessly hit step 3. The crop grows beautifully and it's completely pesticide-free. Finally, step 4, harvest time. But get this, they aren't just harvesting rice. They're gathering their staple crop right alongside fully mature crawfish. It's just a simple, beautifully elegant progression. This whole setup brilliantly illustrates a stark contrast with standard modern agriculture. Think about traditional farming for a second. It relies so heavily on harmful chemical sprays to manage those insect populations. It's basically this constant uphill battle with toxic inputs. But this organic method, it uses the crawfish for all of its natural pest control. Just by introducing a natural predator to the insects, these farmers completely eliminate the need for synthetic pesticides. That is a massive win for the environmental health of the entire local ecosystem. Now, what's genuinely wild here is the sheer scale of the result. 60%. This isn't just some minor incremental improvement or a feel-good environmental story that doesn't really pay off. By removing those harmful chemicals and just letting the crawfish manage the insects organically, this natural pest control method boosts crop yields significantly. Our source specifically points out an increase of more than half, hitting an astonishing 60% leap. To put that into perspective, that is just massive compared to what a standard chemically treated field might typically produce. And just to really cement how deeply connected these outcomes are, our source explicitly notes that this method, quote, eliminates the need for pesticides and increases the yield by 60%. It perfectly validates how these two huge benefits go hand in hand here. You definitely do not have to sacrifice your yield to farm organically. In fact, in this symbiotic system, letting nature take its course literally drives the agricultural success of the crop. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this incredible compound financial impact. It's a total win-win for the growers. First off, utilizing this organic pest control completely eliminates the heavy, recurring costs of buying all those chemical sprays. Second, that massive yield increase we just talked about, that directly boosts the revenue coming in from the staple crop itself. And third, you remember step 4 from our life cycle breakdown a minute ago? Once those crustaceans reach a certain size, the farmers catch and sell them. That creates a completely separate, brand new additional income stream. This integrated farming system doesn't just promote environmental health, it creates profoundly enhanced financial security for the entire local community. Which leads us perfectly to a final, pretty provocative thought. What other modern farming problems could we solve just by looking back at natural symbiotic relationships? Seriously, if a seemingly strange combination of crawfish and rice can naturally eliminate toxic chemicals, boost yields by more than half, and create multiple revenue streams for a farmer, well, just imagine what other local ingenuity is out there waiting to be found. It really challenges us to consider how these highly localized, nature-based solutions can inspire global sustainability. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this incredible system. And hey, keep looking for those brilliant natural synergies.